Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you'd like to see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018 Career Mode episode number 66. We're still very early in our new season here. This is the second episode since transitioning. We are now with Nabob as a sponsor. And that's also showing up as a team name now. So, no longer Nike, but Nabob. We head into La Tropical Amisa Bango. Wanted Group go their favorites for this first stage. It is a sprint, but you can see it's a bit punchy at the end of the stage. So even though it's classified as a sprint stage, it is a little bit punchy. So we'll see how this affects our selection of riders towards the end of the stage. Try to get a little blow up here to really see what it is I want to do. You can see Bahrain Merida, Quickstep, they're all here for this one. And yeah, you can see little uphill in the final 2-3 kilometers. It does kind of flatten out again, but then you see a spiky little steepish finish in the final couple hundred meters, at least from the looks of it. So it is not totally flat. This is going to affect this stage. But I'll go ahead and get my riders to the front of the pack, where I like to keep them. And I suggest that you should too. And then I'll decide who I'm going to protect based on form and whatnot, and who I think can get to the end, which I do think everybody can get to the end. So it's probably not going to change much in that regard, but somebody with a little bit of hill might be useful in that final sprint. Approaching the end of the stage, it's not been an easy one for a sprint stage, just as I had essentially predicted. I mean, this is really close to being a hills stage, but being just flat enough to be a sprint stage. And again, this ending to the stage is going to set itself up. It's got a little more downhill than uphill here towards the end, but we do have these few uphill sections, but especially those final few kilometers are mostly a slight uphill, so I've got to be really careful about sprinting later than normal. There's not much of a wind, but which way is it going? Let's see, we're going this way to the finish, and it's a headwind. It is a headwind, so we are going straight into a headwind for the finish on this one. That does play into this a little bit. So we're down to about 13k now, and with the amount of fatigue that I have, these guys are not in a position to just attack out. But 10k, split, there's a split. Now's the time to attack. There's a split. I've got my entire team into it, and just 20 riders here. Let's bring it on down, and let's form on up, and we're gonna start pushing immediately because, for one, it's only 10k, so this is a good time for that. Two, my whole team is like right there, so they should be able to launch out of this pretty quickly. We've got this little uphill right now. It's the penultimate one, and then it's just that final. You got that downhill section, so we can push fast through there, even though it's into the headwind. Yeah, this is a good time. Wachtendorf is done, though. Wachtendorf is... he's going to give us a quick moment, and then he'll be out of it, so he will go first. Now, the decision on who to go with is a difficult one. Essentially, there's 3 sprinters here. So we have Casebowl, and he's the weakest of the sprinters with, today 74-73, but his hills rating is a 65. Marini, yeah, just a 60, but he's a much better sprinter. And Gouillard has the best top speed, but the lowest resistance and acceleration is similar to Casebowl. So that's the difficult part with Gouillard. He should be our top sprinter, but he still hasn't quite been there. I think he's one level away. A couple more resistance points, 1 or 2 more acceleration points, attribute-wise, and then suddenly he's our best guy. but he's always been on the edge. Marini is more balanced. Today his resistance is 3 points higher. His sprint is only 2 points lower, and his acceleration is 4 points higher. So let's see how it kind of favors Marini over Gouillard. The problem with Gouillard is he always runs out of stamina before the end. So let's go with Marini today. Now from here, Vervecchi is going to ride for the overall, so I'm just going to give him a free ride onto the back end. And then Davos, I don't want him dropping out because he's kind of the backup guy, so we'll put him next, and then Cohen. And Wachtendorf is going to give us one very brief, I'm not even going to bother with his gel, but Cohen's gel, we'll use it right away. And I think Davos will go here in just a few moments. Wachtendorf gives us that very quick. He at least gets us pretty much up the hill. That's good, right? And then we'll push Cohen from here. So this is 9.5K with 4 lead out riders. I think that is well within our range to go about a 99, but maybe not quite, so let's push 98. This is going to be somewhat downhill, actually, for Cohen, so... but only slight... Yeah, it's not a big downhill. Fairly flat, but what does that profile look like through here? Yeah, it's going to flatten out, and then it'll drop a bit more and then flatten out again. So, yeah, I think a 98 is probably good. That should keep everyone else behind. And it is. The gap's opening. No, it's holding. So whoever's chasing is doing about the same. Alright. Oh, why are you off pace there?
We're into the last 5 kilometers.
Alright, let's go ahead and use everyone's gel. Wachtendorf already, by the way, is off the back. Set him to auto. So that's 19 riders now. 4K out. 3K out, and we're starting to hit that slight up, or just about to hit that uphill. You can see it's going to kind of ramp up right here on the curve. Right now we're still at negative 1.7, which is kind of countered by the headwind. Davos is just about out of energy. That's going to bring us into Case Bowl here in just a second. Shoot, I did not want to run him all the way down. Try to grab onto the back of Vervecchi. I forgot that you're my guy. I would love to start the sprint, but I don't think we're quite there yet. Now we can go. Okay, Case Bowl, give us a sprint. Give us a sprint. That's going to bring these guys down a bit. And Asbrook is kind of the only one who's there. We're down to 1K, but we're also down on energy. Gouillard's going to take over. He's Mr. Top Speed. Come across these guys. There you go. He's out. Oh, Marini should not be this far down. It's the uphill. It's got to be the uphill and or headwind that is doing Marini too much harm. I'm not sure how well he's going to do into the finish here. And Gouillard's going to fade as well. It looks like there's about 4 guys capable of overtaking us. Oh, Marini goes around the outside. He might have it. He might have it. Left side here, Reguigui is going to overtake him on the line, I think. He does. Second place, though. Marini was out of energy a little too soon. He got a good burst of speed there, but again, all of those guys, resistance a little bit too low for that uphill. Seems to be right about 4 degrees, so it's on the hill, and that really hurt us. It slowed it down. It burned that resistance quickly, and all of those guys are bad on resistance. Vervecchi takes 8th, though. It's a sprint stage, so I doubt they're going to give us the time gap, even though those 20 riders were away for, what was that, over 10K? Yeah, because I paused it right at 10K, and they had already split. So for about 11 kilometers, we have 20 riders off the front. Will they give a time gap? PCM 18, of course, is notorious for not. If they call it a sprint stage, they will not give those time gaps. Even though the rule in real life is 3K, but the game stretches things out. Oh, they gave a time gap! They did. I don't know, is it because it was over 10K? So, ooh, okay, that is good. That is good. Oh, DeVos lost time, though. He fell back. Cohen lost time. But Vervecchi is the main guy we're riding for. So Vervecchi's going to get this time boost over all of these guys. Oh, that is nice. I'm happy with that. So Requi goes top after winning the stage, but Marini's second. Gouillard is up there. Vervecchi and Case Bowl all in there. Vervecchi is the main one who benefits from this because these guys are all 19 seconds behind him. Oh, no. Okay, Vinther and Otto were in the break and picked up time bonuses. So did Oliveira. That could be big. Oliveira's... That's a good rider. I'm really surprised he was in that breakaway. But yeah, this is helpful for the overall. Gives us a real chance at a top 5 finish or so with Vervecchi. And with that, I'm the only team that had 3 riders in that break. And they actually gave the split. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Alright, well that'll push us into stage 2 of 7. We'll hang around long enough to get the profile. It's basically another sprint, but with that punchy little climb right there at the end, I don't expect too many sprinters to hang around if the pace is enough from the other teams. We will try to sprint this one. I will not have Vervecchi in the back through that climb because there's a few K to go after that. So Vervecchi, if those sprinters make it up that hill, if it does not burn them out, then I'll have Vervecchi drop behind them and then have those guys sprint it out. So we will wait to go fairly late on, and it's really just because of that one punchy climb right before the end. Otherwise, this is flatter than the last stage for the most part. I mean, most of the kilometers will climb. The elevation change will happen in the first 10% of the stage, 15%, where that won't have an impact unless the breakaway is tricky, but the pace will drop through the middle. That will be fully recovered by that point. All right, so we have a breakaway here of just 3 riders. Their lead is down to a minute. They will be reeled in fairly quickly. Back in the peloton, well, pace is super hot, and there are quite a few riders off back. Main reason for this is it turns out this is actually a really short stage. It's only about 120, 130 kilometers. So the attack is hard, the chase is hard. This stage has never let up, so it's actually becoming a hill stage more out of the type of reaction you get in, like, say, the Tour de France with those short climbing stages where they're just on the attack from the get-go. We're already down to 20K. So that final climb in this one really is just 2 to 3K before the finish line, in which case
The pace is really hot, so for the moment we shouldn't see too many
at that rate of attack, at that short of a distance, if a sprinter can get up to the top, a sprinter can absolutely still take this stage. But at the moment, it is very punchy the way that this one is setting up. And you can see Wachtendorf is already just about out of energy here with just 12K to go. So I'm going to use his gel. I almost clicked on it with everyone selected. Use his gel now, and I will use Cohen's gel now. Try to give them a moment here, and we'll set up at 10K here. It's going to be a downhill for a little bit, so whoever takes over first, Wachtendorf, could actually last a little bit, and definitely Cohen, down to that flat. But you can see it is quite steep, but very short, that climb. I mean, we're looking at 10K right now, right? And that's probably only about 1/10 of the distance from our black line to the finish line, which is also a black line, but in that gap in between, that climb, it's only about 1K of it, but you can see the finish line, like the last one, is the same sort of setup. But what are we doing in terms of, it's a crosswind today, not a headwind. It's a little bit easier on that sprint finish. You can see Marini's still looking good, Vervecchi's still looking good, Guyard's looking good, as those are the protected guys. But Bull, a bit more tired today. Cohen, and this guy, a bit different. I want to talk about this one real quick before I unpause this and get our sprint trade set up. So this is DeVos, Canadian, right? This is one of the new ones on the team. Now, you look at it and you read it properly. It is absolutely DeVos. It's not DeVos. There's no E at the end of it, so it's DeVos. However, I don't know if he's French-Canadian or otherwise. I mean, looking at the name, it could be. So is it DeVos if it's French-Canadian? But that part aside, it is so close to a very, very popular character name from a certain series that just wrapped up and freaked people out because it was not the happy ending. Not the ending they wanted, but a certain character by the name of Davos. I don't know. It might happen. I might take to calling him Davos just because the likeness, the similarity. It's clearly not a Da as it's the DE, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I take to calling him. It may happen, but if it does, that's why. It's not a mispronunciation because I can't get it right, but it would be a mispronunciation because I want to call him Davos. We'll see if that actually happens. All right, now for Vervecchi, I don't want him on the back this time because I'm worried that the sprinters are not going to make it up that 1K climb. And I might slow it down a little bit on that 1K climb just to try to help get them up that climb in one piece because our chances are far, far better. Now, Guyard actually is going to be the weakest up that hill. So, actually, he and Marini are essentially the same. But the resistance, yeah. Join the resistance. 68 for Marini. So, yes, he will last a bit better than Guyard on that. And then Case Bull. All right, sprinters on the back. Then we're going to follow Vervecchi. Vervecchi's a 74 in the hills. Davos, whichever it is, he is definitely the punchy guy, so we're going to give him the go ahead. And then Cohen. And then Wachtendorf. I want to wait about 100 meters or so before you start your push because we are uphill. Now we are downhill, so you can do it for me. Get up there, pull the team with you. Where are they? Cohen, come on. All right, here we go. Cohen, Wachtendorf. That was weak, but at least you gave us a little something there. Pulling the team to the front, and it was on that downhill anyway. Davos, whatever it is, I'm going to call you. Okay, it's already 5K. So, Cohen, is this? No, this is not it. This is the little false flat. Top is right there, and then it's going to go downhill again. Cohen, maybe this is the time to go 97. That way you don't destroy our sprinters, and no, you hurt them, but you did not destroy them. And you got us right to the top of that one. And you're not the hills guy. The Voss is. So he's going to take over, but he's also going to stay at a 97. Go in if you can. Just latch on to the back. All right, here's the little downhill.
Not getting up.
There's a split.
I hope it isn't too serious. You see that? You
Okay.
can read the pain on
Don't
the
destroy
faces
these
of
guys.
the peloton.
Don't destroy them. Come on.
Riders left
They're getting
behind.
destroyed.
It looks like the
They're
pack
getting
is
destroyed.
dust collectively, but the riders would seem to be okay to carry on.
There you go. Speed up, speed up, speed up. Take Vervecchi. Give Vervecchi the win.
There goes the sprint. The strong men are giving them all.
Vervecchi's going for it. We'll sprint all, but it's definitely Vervecchi. Everybody else, they are too tired. They are already dropping. Cohen's all the way back there, but Gouillard's up there, Marini's up there. That'll keep them on same time. We are looking at some time gaps. It is a hill stage, so they should offer some time gaps. Bull is here. You can see he is... actually, I did not want him. I want you to just follow. Bull has no energy left, so a sprint from him is useless. But for Vecchi, come on, man. Do it for me. And Davos, see if you can squeeze out a top 10 yourself. For Vecchi, I think we need to go to the inside here. Come around this curve. There you go. Oh no, there's the actual sprinters going. Top 3. Sean Bennett, Vashek to the front, but for Vecchi, a solid 3rd place.
Right on the line.
Sean Bennett,
Show of power.
U.S. National Championship jersey, huh? He won it this last year, I guess. Wait, yeah, this last year. I'm still playing the PCM 18. Forgot for a moment. Hey, that's still good. Podium for Vecchi. It's a time bonus. That is a time bonus for Vecchi. So, and you know he's only a 56 sprint, so I completely understand that somebody was capable of beating him out in the end. Time gaps, we'll see. There's a lot of scattered riders all over the place at this point. It's already been 3.5 minutes. What gaps they'll give, we'll find out. But we got 3rd and 5th, 14th and 17th, and 19th on the stage.
Now for the race highlights.
Again, for Vecchi's going to pick up that little time bonus, so that'll be good. And time gaps after 31st. And they start to appear pretty regularly from there. So, 31 riders remain in check, but also a lot of them had already lost time previously. So here we are. Reguigui was up there in the group. He remains in 1st place. Marini in the group remains in 2nd. Morkov in 3rd, 5 seconds down. There's Vervecchi with his time bonus, moves up to 4th, 6 seconds down. Lambrecht, Case Bull, Gouillard still there, and Grossu, the only ones left. So we're down to 8 riders essentially in contention with everybody else dropping. Now Sean Bennett was in the group that lost time previously. He pulled back 10 seconds. And yeah, 81 Hills rating, and see, that's why he beat us. That's why this was a Hills stage ultimately, because his Hills rating and the ability to sprint at a 70 with 77 acceleration with a 70 resistance, that is why Sean Bennett won. Now, Grossu, sprinter, but he does have a 70 Hills rating. If we have a mountain stage, though, he's done. Gouillard, of course, would be done on a mountain stage, and Case Bull. Lambrecht would not. Lambrecht would certainly hang on. So Lambrecht is here to stay. Vervecchi is here to stay. Morkov is a sprinter. I'm surprised he's up here at all. He's a bare door, technically, but sprinter profile, at least for this race. Of course, Marini would be done. And Reguigui, a 69 Hills rating, but a 64 mountain rating. So we're looking at Lambrecht. And then, of course, Sean Bennett from behind. He's a 70 in the mountains. Vashek would be able to hang on. Nealon's. And, of course, Esteban Chavez. Yes, that is that Esteban Chavez. So, plenty of guys waiting in the wings, but that's 24 and beyond. Lambrecht, the only one in this top group, outside of Vervecchi, who would hang on if we get some serious climbing. So, could Vervecki beat out Lambrecht and hang on ultimately against these other contenders like Sean Bennett, who's already starting to pick up time? He's only 18 seconds down to Vervecki right now. But if Vervecki can stay in the groups each time, stage by stage, if he can beat out Lambrecht, maybe he can win this race. We'll see, though. We continue to build our profile now. 48 seconds over Elkov, 112 over Wanty, Katusha Albson, and Mitchelton Scott. Utrecht and Groupon FDJ over 2 minutes down. Bahrain, 244. Lotto Sudal. This is an awesome position we're in right now. Can we hang on to it? We'll see. Rally is prolonging. Israel will prolong. Pyrenees, 9 teams looking for 4 spots. Of course, we are one of them. We signed up for every possible one. And, looking at team profiles, Wanty Group Gobert is almost a given that they'll get an invite. Cofidis will almost certainly get one, but then 2 more teams. I think Canyon Iceberg is up there on rankings right now. Final Concept might be. Direct Energy normally is, but I think their profile dropped a little bit this last season or so. So maybe we can get an invite. I don't care that we're ranked at the top. It's the team profile. And we have moved up from the bottom of Pro Continental to the middle in profile. So I'm hoping that'll get us a few more invites this year than last. And that'll be the best way to boost the score from last season if we're already the best of Continental. In for another sprint stage here on stage 3, though it's got a couple little punches towards the end. Again, Couillard, Marini, favorites on a regular sprint stage like this.
There's an attack in the group at the front.
18 kilometers to go, and we're seeing a lot of yo-yoing, anywhere from 20 to 30 riders down to almost all of the peloton. There are definitely some riders off back, but with 16k to go, let's go ahead and bring it in for this one. So it is a sprint stage. You can see there's a little bit of punch there before the end, and some of that coming up, so it's definitely not flat. We had 2 difficult climbs, category 2 here, another category 2 that you can see that aren't terribly short, and at times anyway are relatively steep. The first one especially was while the breakaway was trying to form, and it was super challenging. I had 4 riders, mostly my sprinters, fighting at the back, still trying to get to the front of the field, which they never did, so they weren't yet protected riders, as the other guys easily made it to the front, and then they were waiting up there for these guys to get there. Wachtendorf actually fell off the back, and I had to fight to get him back on, and it's been a challenging stage from the get-go. So there's definitely some fatigue out there in the field and in the peloton. There's quite a few riders that I think will get dropped in the next little bit. So it's 16k right now. I think we're going to roll on a little bit further, and I'm going to use Wachtendorf's gel and get it ready. And then we'll use Cohen's gel here in the next little bit. And then there we go. And then those guys will be ready. That's something I've really wanted to do a lot more often. But with 13.5k to go, the breakaway still has 40 seconds. You can see this yo-yoing still going on here in the peloton. And Wachtendorf is ready. It's 12.8k, but as it's mostly flat and definitely some downhill through it, I think now's a decent enough time. I just can't go 99 all the way just yet. So, normal sprint stage for Vecchi will claw onto the back of, let's see, Marini's is 0, and today Couillard's a -2 with a resistance of 60. Let's see how much he's struggling already. Think I'm going to go with Bowl as the lead out guy today over Couillard. Couillard's just not going to last. In fact, Couillard should probably go sooner, but as he's in 7th place, want to protect that. So Davos, the guy with a million names, Wachtendorf. Let's go with a 95 here. We got a little downhill for a moment, and now it's going to turn to an uphill. And that's going to burn him out pretty quick, but you can see Wanty is pushing pretty hard with Quick Step in tow. EF also there. There is the race leader, Reguigui. And that brings us to 10K with Wachtendorf now used up. Now, on the previous stages, Wachtendorf was taken over at 10K and lasting a couple hundred meters. So we're essentially in the same place we always are. What we've got to watch out for is that Gouillard is very tired. I'm almost tempted to just put him on the back and give him a free tow and take him out of the mix, as I just don't think he is going to last. And actually, let's do that. He's going to go all the way back behind Vervecchi because I don't want to risk Vervecchi, and just get him out of the mix today. If he's got something left, he can sprint at the end and maybe get a minor placing. That means I am down one rider. So Cohen already kicked in. Let's use your gel to Voss. And we'll go 96 for Cohen. Gets blocked off, but that's okay. Quick Step doing the work for a moment. Down to 9K. Breakaway just about reeled in here. Bull going. Devos will do the same thing. Devos doing a little damage. There's the hill. He did look at Gouillard. Gouillard's just hanging on here. Split the field. 23 riders off the front. Now it only happened at 6.5K, so I'm not sure they'll give a time gap or not. But it's mostly downhill from here, so it is time to start pushing. So Devos, you're gonna push, and it's 5.2. That's close enough. Let's go ahead and use these gels. Get that acceleration. Okay, Devos, he's got a tiny bit left, but let's go ahead and get to Bull. And Devos, you're going to see if you can grab onto the back. There's Gouillard struggling, really struggling there. So I was right. I didn't think he was going to make it. Profile the rest of the way. Here's that little uphill. It's mostly flat, actually. It's not much of an uphill, but there's two of them. And then there's a steep descent in between here. Marini's still looking good, but I am down to my lead-out guy, actually, at this point, without Gouillard in the mix. So, Bull, I need you to get through this downhill. Marini recovers on the downhill. There's Vervecchi. We're inside the final K.
There goes the sprint. The strongmen are giving their all.
Okay. 500 meters. Marini, you better be able to make 500 meters. There's already Reguigui, half a bike length ahead of you. 4 riders to the right, up ahead. 1 to the far right, that's about level. And Sean Bennett doing his thing. Can we get in front of him? Yes, but we're only going to be 5th place here. No time bonus for us. Grosu, Morkov, Reguigui, Tratnik. Marini takes 5th. Case Bull 7th. Vervecchi 10th. 15 riders there at the end, and definite time gaps, but what will they give? Do not know. Definite gaps. I mean, it's already been 2.5 minutes since the race finished. Brady and Vervecchi, looks like they could have gone a little bit longer out, but you can see with the yellow bar, it would have faded really quick. Really quick. So Marini, I could have pushed maybe 100 meters earlier at best, but that would have been about it. That could have maybe squeezed out one more position over Tratnik if we had gotten it right to the edge, but he definitely was not going to win that stage. That little up down was not good for us. Still, string of pretty good results in this race so far, and Vervecki looking really good in contention for the overall. And hopefully there are some time gaps again out here. Bad news is Morkov. No, okay, it wasn't Morkov I was worried about. Okay, these guys all on same time, and see, no time gaps given. 109 riders all on the same time. That next time gap is at 5:04, yet the field was completely scattered. And it's scattered at 6.5, 7K out. So much for the 3K rule in here. I think in game, I think it's going to take over 10K. And yet, I've seen it over 20K where it doesn't give the time gaps on a sprint stage. So, unlucky on that as Marini drops to 4th now. Morkov and Grossu picking up some time. Reguigui picks up a little bit more, but again, a climb will undo all of that. Vervecki is still 2 seconds ahead of Lambrecht, so he was not outside of that top 100. Bull and Guyard still up there, and it's still just 8 riders, and I've got 4 of them. But sadly, the top 3 are among those other 4 guys in the mix. Santos Tour Down Under. Overall, oh, that's after the stage. Okay, Ewan, Groenewegen, Gaviria. Ewan had a really good Tour de France this year with 3 stage victories for him. Might have been the most of any sprinter. You know, I'm not sure what the final tallies were on stage victories. That might have been the most of any rider in the Tour. I mean, Sagan only won 1 stage, right? And Alaphilippe won 2 stages, if I'm not mistaken, right? He got the time trial, and he had an excellent, 2nd place, but that wasn't a victory. He had that 1 stage victory that put him into the race lead, and then that 2nd place that extended his lead, it was 2nd, as far as I could tell. Okay, this one's definitely a sprint, though. We do have a little climb just right there. Again, just that little bit. Coming up on the end of the stage here, we do have a small breakaway still off the front, but we're getting fairly close to him, but maybe not close enough. It's down to just 13K. You can see there is one little punchy section. Otherwise, this one is very flat compared to the last. So the riders' pace has been hot enough that they're a little tired. But you can see much, much better shape than we've been in the previous couple of stages. So let's get Wachtendorf and Cohen, their gels, and we'll ride forward that last little bit down to 10K. And now we'll set it up. Alright, so for Vervecki, free toe, Marini. Again, our guy, even though he's on a -1 today, but you can see that -1 is not really affecting him. Guyard's a big negative today, so we're going to go with Bull again, but Guyard is good enough to be in the mix, so we'll get him up there. And then Voss, Cohen, Wachtendorf, and Wachtendorf. 9.7K. Give him a push. 97. 96. How we looking? Bull. Becky, come on. Find a way through, buddy. Okay, that's just about into position. Breakaway also just about caught, and it's down to 7K. Cohen's going to be up here in just a moment. Let's get your gel going. And then we'll push through. Wachtendorf done. And here goes Cohen. Still haven't caught those guys. Those last 4 guys are pushing really hard, really well, and they're attacking this uphill. Don't destroy the field. Don't destroy as we go over the top and through the guardrail. Bunny hop, bunny hop. By the way, we're down to 3K. What? Okay, 97. Gotta get these guys over the top before you take off. Wanty, 2 guys ahead. Sari, Pascalon's a contender here. Gouillard, Bull, Marini, come on. Close ranks, close ranks. Alright. DeVos actually still just now trying to overtake Cohen. Let's go 99. Gouillard is just about done. He's going to give me a little acceleration here. And DeVos himself, I think he's just going to kind of push on. So what I need to do is, Gouillard, you're going to sprint now. Shoot, I'm too late on his energy gels. Case Bull. There's Marini.
And they're off. It's going to be very fast.
Oh, come on, Marini. Why are you draining your red bar that far? I mean, look at that. They were level. And Marini just... Okay, here was the thing. He had about a bike length. There's the problem. He wasn't lined up perfectly, therefore it's using all his red bar just to chase. And then Vervecchi's going to have the same problem. Bull, we're going to turn off your sprint. You're going to give me another 100 meters or so. Now Marini's on you, but you can see he's still draining. So he's not going to sprint. We're just going to overtake here, and that's it. They're out of energy. Still 300 meters away. Vervecchi's the guy, but Vervecchi's way back here. DeVos, though. DeVos is going to be in a little bit better position to sprint. He might be my highest finisher today. Nope, he's not. No, not enough speed. Marini and Bull. Pascalon took it. I was right. Hayter, Maldonado, Morkov, Campenarts, Marini and Bull 6th and 7th. Lambrecht 9th. DeVos and Vervecchi 12-13. TJ Van Garderen, you're even here? What? Gouillard and Wachtendorf 17-18. We did see gaps again, but what will they give? No idea. That little punchy climb did split the field. And my guys all gapped each other just that little bit, and that's what did us in on that stage. Same time, same time, same time, same time, same time, all the way to last place. Right. Well, nobody picked up time that really mattered except Pascalon, maybe. So we're in a really strong position with 3 stages to go. And the profile for those: sprint, sprint, and sprint. We're already down to the sprints, actually. So no time gaps expected. Vervecchi no longer needs to be the guy I'm riding for. He can join the sprint train. We're done with the hills, and these ones are all totally flat. So that changes things. I thought there was one climbing stage, but we already did it. That was stage 2 was it. The rest of this is all sprint. So that definitely changes things. We're going to be riding for Marini the rest of the way, as he is that best placed. But Gouillard's in a good spot, Bull's in a good spot, and Vervecchi's in a good spot. So we are definitely looking at a good finish now. But what kind of time can we pull back? We'll find out. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe. And tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.